All right, today we're going to talk about what might be the single most important story in AI right now. It's a story about incredible breakneck speed and a really dangerous growing lag. Let's dive in and break down exactly what that means. Tech writer Aaron Rose really hit the nail on the head here. He says there's a gap right at the very heart of AI. It's this widening divide between what the technology can do and our ability to responsibly manage it. And that gap? That's what this is all about. So how do we know this gap is actually real? Well, it all starts with the brand new Stanford AI Index report. You should really think of this as the industry's most trusted, most neutral scorecard. And honestly, the 2026 edition, it's pretty sobering. Stanford researchers even gave this problem a name, the capability accountability gap. And that's our core concept for today. To put it simply, AI's power is growing way, way faster than our systems to control it. Let's take a look at what the data actually shows. Okay, first, let's talk about how fast capability is moving. Just look at this chart. It shows how well these AI systems can write and fix their own complex software. A year ago, they were solving about 60% of the problems. Today, they're hitting nearly 100%. That is a mind-blowing jump in just 12 months. And this hypergrowth, it's happening everywhere. On this super tough benchmark called Humanity's Last Exam, the best AIs leaped from less than 9% accuracy to over 50%. Meanwhile, pretty much every organization is using AI, and it reached more than half the population faster than the PC or even the internet. The progress is just undeniable. So that's one side of the equation, this immense accelerating power. That's the capability part. But what about accountability? Let's see what that side of the gap looks like. And wow, this chart says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the gap. While AI performance is absolutely skyrocketing, transparency is in a total freefall. This index, which scores how open companies are about their models, has just plummeted from 58 down to 40 in a single year. The most powerful models are now the ones we know the least about. And the warning signs are just getting louder. Most new models are basically black boxes. We don't even get their training code. The big tech giants, they've stopped sharing basic info like how much data they use. And this is a big one. The flow of global talent into the US, the very people we need to manage all this, is slowing down dramatically. Now, this gap isn't just some abstract academic idea. No, it has very real, very immediate consequences. Let's look at our first case study, this high-stakes battle over AI hardware, all centered on some really critical chip tariffs. So here's the situation. Back in January, a 25% tariff got slapped on key AI chips. But the final rules, the exemptions, the real impact, all of that depends on a Phase 2 report that's due tomorrow. The entire industry is basically just holding its breath. And that's the crucial point. Nobody knows what's in that report. Are the tariffs going up? Will key partners get a break? The uncertainty itself is the story here, because every major tech company has built its entire roadmap on assumptions that could just vanish overnight. And we're talking about huge sums of money. Some analysts think that if certain exemptions are tightened up, the cost for the most advanced AI systems could jump another 15%, literally overnight. This is the accountability gap playing out on a global economic stage. Okay, so let's bring this down from the world of geopolitics to the company level. Our second case study shows how this gap affects individual paying customers. This is the story of the Claude Code quota crisis. So imagine you're paying $200 a month for this premium coding tool. You're promised a 5-hour usage limit, but all of a sudden, you're burning through that entire quota in just 19 minutes. This is exactly what's been happening to developers using Anthropic's Claude Code. The community did some digging and figured it out. It turns out a bug is forcing the system to constantly rebuild its memory, its cache. So instead of lasting an hour like it's supposed to, a session's memory gets wiped every 5 minutes. And this triggers these constant, super expensive rebuilds that just chew through a user's quota like crazy. And just look at the difference in cost. Every single time that bug forces a rebuild, it's hitting a user's quota 12.5 times harder than a normal operation would. It's a massive, unintended cost getting passed directly to their most loyal customers. But here's the thing. The real issue, the accountability gap, isn't just the bug itself. Bugs happen. It's the silence. The company made the change that caused this, without a note, without an email, without any communication to the people paying their bills. And that is a huge breach of trust. So we've got two completely different stories, right? A global tariff decision and a little software bug, but they both point directly back to our central theme. And here's the wild part. Both of these stories are total cliffhangers. The tariff report is due tomorrow, and the stability of the entire AI supply chain is on the line. Anthropic says a fix for the Claude bug is their highest priority, but it's not out yet, and developer trust is hanging in the balance. So from the highest levels of government policy all the way down to a single line of buggy code, our ability to govern, to oversee, and just to be accountable is simply not keeping up with what AI can do. This is the gap. This is the story of 2026. Which leaves us all with the ultimate question, right? We've seen the data, we've seen the real-world impact. As AI's capability keeps shooting up this exponential curve, can our accountability, our governance, can our simple ability to manage it all ever really hope to catch up?